All right, today I want to show you guys something super fun, and this is really why I love these vintage manual levers. And I'm going to show you all a quick manual. Go through the manual real quick. Here's the manual, and I'm going to take out an attachment. Those of you who have heard attachment, you already know exactly what I'm going to be talking about if you've owned a Europiccola. But on the very first page of the manual, we have our graphics here, and at the very bottom, we have the Cappuccino Automatic. So what the Cappuccino Automatic is it's an automatic cappuccino frothing setup for the Europiccola. I've had the attachment this entire time, but I haven't actually used it, so you're gonna join me on this fun adventure. But I just love manuals that come with these types of machines. In the manuals, they're just like, here's a ton of text, read it and follow the instructions. I'm so reminded whenever I look at any of the copy that's on here or the way things are formatted, I really get reminded of vintage film cameras. There's so much cool quirkiness to all of these machines, and it's fun. It really makes the experience of these machines so fun. We're gonna follow the instructions, we're gonna take out the Cappuccino Automatic, and we're gonna see if we can make a fun little drink. So I've taken the attachment out here, as you can see. Basically, what this is you replace the current steam wand with a cappuccino attachment, and you can adjust all of the settings, and I think that's really fun. But we're gonna basically try to steam some milk using this instead of our steam wand. Why put this effort in to steam when you can have the machine do it for you? And I'm super curious, but I believe you can totally pull a shot while this is going. We might run out of boiler pressure, but I think that might be fun trying out. There is a technique to pull and steam a shot with machines like this and the Cremina. There's some mad lad who steams and pulls a shot at the same time using his Cremina, but we're gonna see if we can accomplish the same thing because this is supposed to be an automatic frother. There's black text that says the following directions are for owners of chrome-plated or copper brass units. The Cappuccino Automatic attachment may be purchased as an option for black base units. Call 1-800-927-0277 for more information. I don't know if that number actually exists anymore. This attachment features the following parts: plated steam attachment, black aerator cup with tube, and an adjusting screw. So basically you turn this little black screw knob to adjust the amount of foam. If you want to go super thick foam, you go all the way to the right, and if you want thinner foam for something like lattes, you go all the way to the left. And the machine should just do everything for you. Basically, you stick this to the side and the foam should come out of here. So people were asking me actually about this, because in my Cremina versus Europiccola video, I was complaining that I couldn't really use this. Like if I tried to actually use this as an anchor point, the steam wand would move up, and people are saying they have like a little grub screw or something to lock it in place. My model doesn't really have it because I can just do that. It's just kind of the steam wand as is. All I have to do is replace this with this. It's the same exact little design, and maybe because my machine can fit the Cappuccino Automatic, that it does not have that little screw to screw the steam wand and anchor it in place. All right, so pulled it off. Installing it, there is a little catch point though that this has to lock into. And there we are. So that's the Cappuccino Automatic. I'm gonna plug my machine in, heat it up, pull a shot, and make myself a cappuccino using the Cappuccino Automatic. You, of course, can adjust the attachment direction. So say you wanted to have your milk in a different area, you could totally do that, and you go left for less foam and right for more foam. I believe there's probably just a little bit like a valve that closes on the inside to change the amount of aeration. But I've never used this before, so I definitely think we should run it through some water to make sure that it actually works. Let's read the instructions, make sure we're following the instructions correctly to make a cappuccino using the Cappuccino Automatic. And that's a great way to use your time while you let your machine heat up. It says, to make cappuccino, make sure your Latte Pavoni has reached proper operating temperature. So we're clearly doing that right now. Start with fresh milk. Whole milk works best, but you may use 1% or 2% also. Pre-oat milk times. And what you need to do is place the tube into the milk container, hold cup under the black aerator spout, and you open the steam knob slowly 2 complete turns. And then once it's done, stop the flow of milk by closing the steam knob. Ooh, and if you desire a hotter cappuccino, you may heat up the milk by first closing the steam knob, then removing the cappuccino automatic attachment and replacing it with the standard steaming tube. Immerse the tube into the bottom of the cup, open steam knob 2 turns, and heat to the desired temperature or place your cup in a microwave. So, they're straight up telling you, if you don't get the heat and the temperature you want, take this guy off and replace it with the standard one. That is hilarious. Oh, and it says, milk that has come direct from the refrigerator will result in cooler cappuccino. Remove your milk from the refrigerator a few minutes before using. So this is totally against all of you third wave snobs who want a cool picture for the most optimal latte art. Pretty much the workflow and what I've seen in some old videos is you foam the milk, you get that really thick foam, that traditional cappuccino stuff, and then you pull your shot and you just dump the shot into it. So there's no latte art, no fanciness. And I think that's really fun. It's just let the machine do it, and you probably will get really good results. So I'm going to open the steam wand valve. Ooh, interesting. So I'm cleaning this valve, making sure that this is good. But this is hot. This is actually really hot. So I'm going to assume that when we do actual milk, we should actually be able to get a temperature, a pretty good temperature for our cappuccino. They said 2 full turns, so I'm going to do 2 full turns. 1, 2. Please spraying everywhere. Okay, I'm actually not going to complete that because it has sprayed everywhere. That was my mistake. That was my first time ever using this. So, okay. These bubbles are really tiny, which means that I think it does work. If you just wanted hot heated milk, you can clearly do that, but we want some foams. Actually, let's see if I can get away with doing this. Ah, so it didn't spray, and now it's actually creating foam. That is... Ooh. See. So I ran out of milk there, and it was just spraying steam out. There we go. There's layering here. That indeed works. That's super cool. I guess I might as well pull a shot and pour it in here, make a more traditional cappuccino, and then I think let's see if we can adjust this and get this dialed in for something fancy, like a third wave latte art or something like that. But let me pull a shot real quick. Is this gonna upset someone that I'm not using a scale on the thing? Okay, we'll do this. You know, real baristas don't need scales, right? I have no idea if I'm dialed in. I think I need to let this pre-infuse longer, but... Oh god. This is much harder than I expected it to be. I think it's working. There was definitely channeling, but... You know what? It's all right. That looks all right. I mean, not bad. All right, I'm just gonna let that drip in the drip tray. I put in 14 grams. I got 29.6 out, and that is visually a very nice looking shot. It is nice to have, like, that looks pretty good. Tastes fine. It tastes like a milk-based drink, although, of course, the milk isn't super well incorporated like a real barista would do in third wave land, but not bad. I'm curious now, and I'm going to see if I can pull a shot and also steam milk at the same time. I don't think that's allowed, but we'll try it out. Go ahead and maybe start our shot first by lifting the lever up, and then... Once this gets pre-infusing, I'm going to then start turning this. Then, going to pull down on the lever. I don't think you can do that. So I messed up and I let it go a little bit too much. That was funny. I totally let I should have used a larger container to get the milk in. Yeah, traditional. I mean, this is what this coffee's called, but this is a very traditional style of cappuccino. You can indeed do this. You just need to be a little careful. And I am pulling something dark anyway, so it probably is okay to actually not be that perfect. Just gonna do some cleaning. So we're running the water through the system. That flow of water is actually pretty steady, so if you do close it, then that's what happens. Alright, so I've been messing around trying to get this to work where I pull a shot and steam at the same time, and as you can see, it is kind of a mess. The milk kind of goes everywhere, and the machine itself is a little bit too small to effectively kind of balance everything together. But what I have found is you definitely want to use an excess amount of milk because what will occur is you will get this kind of steady stream, but you gotta be careful because if you run out of milk here, things are just gonna splatter everywhere. I am using a darker roast coffee, which doesn't actually need that much temperature, but it is kind of a balancing act of getting all of this to work. The strategy I have been doing is I let the pre-infusion occur, I let everything pull, and then I run this. So I'm letting this pre-infuse. So all I have to do is I have to manage the amount of foam that gets into the cup when I turn this on and I push down the lever at the same time. Not the best puck prep from my end here, but we're getting a solid amount of foam here for the cappuccino. Very, as you might be able to see there, very standard cappuccino there. Just super thick foam. I'm trying to do this all at the same time. It is a lot that you have to keep in mind, but passable espresso. This is a dark roast coffee, so honestly, once I dump it in milk, it probably doesn't even matter. And there we are. From a flavor perspective, it tastes pretty good. It's kind of nice to have this more comforting, traditional style of milk, but let me see if I can get this to be a bit thinner on the milk end, and so I can try to maybe do some fancy, I guess, latte art, but let's try that out. Milk got sucked in there. Okay, I'm getting a thinner milk that does have a bit of foam in it, but I'm gonna see if I can get it. This actually looks to be fairly pourable here, and maybe I can also adjust the foaming on the fly here, but I'm just going to go up to about 6 ounces. All right. So this milk does look like it could be poured. So you see it's a little bit drippy here, the retained milk inside of the auto cap attachment. But this milk, it just dripped right there. I'll just leave this towel here. This milk does look pretty pourable. All right. Clearly not good at this. Okay, that's terrible, but I'm behind this camera and it's hard to pour. Foam was a little too thick and I suck at pouring latte art on camera. Trust me, if you look at my Instagram stories, I'm so much better. Definitely passable. I could have just poured better. Because I am a perfectionist, I am going to try this one more time. I've dialed this foam back just a little bit, and I want to pour something a little fancier. This setup is definitely kind of janky, but it's really fun, and it's very quirky. Okay, here we go. I found out the strategy is to just actually go full steam wand open. And I made this just slightly less thick, and I think this should be good. All right, once I see it start sputtering, I just instantly close because I've run out of a little bit of, oops, I got too much stuff on this table. As you kind of see, things sputtered at the end there. And that was because I just did not turn the cappuccino attachment off fast enough, because the Europiccola thing, the Europiccola steam one, you gotta go like 5 million turns. I wish I could just like turn it once, but you gotta go unscrew and rescrew. But anyway, this milk here looks pourable. I'm gonna need to bang out kind of these, they're big air bubbles here, but I'm gonna try to just pour something in fancy. It has been a while since I've poured latte art, which is unfortunate. Okay, well, a little better pour than before. So there's my beautiful latte art pour. Wow. You can clearly see kind of the bigger foam bubbles inside of there, but that's just because of the cappuccino attachment, but like, it is workable. I actually am now thinking about it, I'm like, I have a single hole on mine, and you can swap it out to a bunch of different styles here. I have definitely had moments where the foam coming out of this, because of just simple user error and because of how my specific Europiccola does not have a grub screw to actually lock the steam wand in place, I've had worse results than this before. It is pretty quirky to use, but I think that's really interesting is, okay, I was able to pour something. Could it be better if I manually steamed it? Yes, but honestly, it's good enough. And of course, if you're making more traditional styles of cappuccino, it works perfectly. But you could indeed dial back that foam, and you could end up with a result that is actually pourable for latte art. But now I'm just cleaning up. The cleanup is a little bit annoying to do. Just that when that water starts sputtering like that, and I think that might be because of the inconsistencies in the actual steam boiler. Someone please confirm that. Maybe because the steam boiler has to keep heating and varying temperature like that, that the running the attachment just doesn't seem to be as smooth after you run it for a period of time. Anyway, that was what I wanted to show off today, was this really fun attachment, the Cappuccino Automatic. What an invention. Very, very quirky. And of course you can actually pull a shot and steam milk at the same time, and I think you can get away with it with some of these darker roast coffees, but it does seem like if you are putting additional stress on the boiler, especially when you're getting that boiler water to get into the group head and you're trying to pull a shot, I think that might be overloading things a little bit, especially because we start to kind of see the milk be a little inconsistent at times. But if you do use it like I just showed you, which is pull the shot first and then actually steam the milk, you can end up with a result that works good enough for latte art. I mean, that's pretty good considering I didn't have to try to actually steam the milk myself. That's all I wanted to show off today is the Cappuccino Automatic. What a quirky attachment for the Europiccola. But you know what? It works if you're trying to make these more traditional styles of cappuccino, and you can dial it in to be pretty good to actually let you get milk to pour for some fancy latte art. So it's just, cleanup is a little bit of a pain, but that was a lot of fun. And that's something that I love that about these La Pavonis. I love that about these vintage machines, is like, they just have cool things that you can do to it. Who thought that out of a machine that's so manual, so involved, you're supposed to do everything yourself, that they'll just give you an entirely new steam wand assembly, get rid of this guy, this is for losers, we'll just give you this new one that lets you steam milk for you automatically. I'm loving this. This is so fun to me, and that's really what I wanted to share today. Is just these vintage machines have so much cool stuff. It's just you really got to get one of these because there's just so much stuff you can do, and there are practical usages for the Cappuccino automatic that you just have one of these and. You just got to make sure you have a whole setup to ensure that you can clean things. But overall, not bad and really fun to use and very quirky. And that's the type of stuff that I chase, at least, is just what makes the most interesting experience, what makes the most fun experience. And the Cappuccino automatic is definitely getting me that. So thank you for spending time to watch the video. If you have any questions regarding the Europiccola or the Cappuccino automatic, let me know. But thank you again for spending the time to watch the video. I'll see you around.